Okay, here we are practicing our math for our unit 3, and we're going to do our review together. So if you happen to have this page, the unit 3 review, where I've included pictures and everything, you can pull that out. If you don't have it, then please take out a piece of scratch paper and work through it. That way you can label things 1 and so on. The only tricky part then would be for you number 9 in our review. Okay, so with that, I'm going to share my screen with you. And it should be jumping in. Here we go. Okay, so number 1, the question was for us. We've got three friends who want to share 2 granola bars evenly, and you need to show us 2 ways to do that. And answer the question, how much will everyone get? So your name on top. Okay, so one of our classmates asked me, Mrs. Smith, can I do circles? Do I have to make it look like rectangles? You can do circles, that's fine. So we've got 3 friends. I'm going to label them A, B, and C. Friend A, friend B, friend C. A, B, C. So how many times did we see friend A? Twice. Okay, how many pieces of the fraction did we have? Or how many did we divide it into? We divided it into 3, so 2/3. Another way could be with 2 granola bars. Divide those into 3 again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we divided both bars into thirds, and partner 1, or A again, has 2 of them, so 2/3. So we can show it that way. We could even take a highlighter or a marker and kind of show our rationale as well. Question 2, shade 1/3 of each circle. My favorite way to do a third, as you saw above, was just to do a capital Y, capital Y. Part A, so the first part, it says, so we need to shade it in. Okay. Are the thirds equal? That's what it's wanting us to answer. Are they equal in size? If you were having this cookie and this cookie, the small cookie and the large cookie, would you be getting the same chunk of cookie for both? No, you would not be, because this is way smaller, that piece, versus this piece. So I'm going to say no. Explain the sizes, even though thirds are not equal. Okay. Next one. And you could pause this video anytime. Number 3 says, color 1/3 of each circle. Name the colored portion. So 1/3 here. I only colored in 1 of the 3 pieces. Oh, you can't see that too well. Okay, 1/3 here. I shaded in 2 of the 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now we've got 12ths. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4/12 is 1/3. It's all 1/3. Okay, number 4, list the fractions equivalent to 1/4. So we've got options of those fractions here. We've got 2/8, 2/6, 3/12, 5/20. Okay, you're gonna say it only said to list the ones that are equivalent to 1/4. So you only had to write the ones that are actually equal to it, but I'm gonna prove to you, we're gonna go through together and say like why and why not. So we're gonna use our cheat code to help us. Okay, so what times 1 do we need to get 2? Our cheat code is same whatever we multiply the top by, we multiply the bottom. So we needed to times it by 2. Okay, so 1 times 2 is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. So that one worked. So I'm actually just going to circle that one to show you that that one worked. Okay, next, same thing. We times the top by 2 to get 2. 1 times 2 is 2. Whatever we times the top by, we times the bottom by. 4 times 2, is that equal 6? No, it doesn't. So that fraction 2/6 is not equivalent. Okay, what times 1 gives us 3? Times 3 times 3. So 1 times 3 is 3, yes. 4 times 3 is 12. Yes, so that one worked. 3/12 is equivalent. What times 1 gives us 5? Times 5 times 5. So 1 times 5 is 5. 4 times 5 is 20. Yes. So these three fractions are equivalent to 1/4. Now, the bottom, number 5, name 2 that are equivalent to 1/3. So that means you get to use our cheat code again, but it's your choice on what you are wanting to times it by. So I'm just going to do easy numbers times 2. Okay, 1 times 2 is 2, 3 times 2 is 6. So this is 1. Maybe this time I'm just going to do times 10. That's an easy one. So 1 times 10 is 10, 3 times 10 is 30. So that is equivalent as well. Maybe you did times 3, times 4, whatever, it's your choice. Now we're moving on to number 6. Okay, it said write the missing fractions on the number line. So basically, we've just divided each of these into half, didn't we? So we go 0 halves, 1 half, 1 whole. Okay, so after 1 whole, we gives us 1 and 1/2. Pretty cool, huh? So our answers were 1/2 and 1 1/2. Next, number 7. It listed a bunch of fractions. It listed, I'll do it at the bottom here. I'll write those fractions in pen to help us. So we needed to put 1/8 somewhere, 5/10, 3/4, 7/12, and 2/10. Okay, so we need to put these in order on the number line. My first question is, does any of them equal half? Would any of them be half? Is 5 half of 10? Yes, it is. So I'm going to put 5/10 on the half part, right in the middle, and that one's done. So now I need to think, okay, so I found one that equals half. So what are my ones that are bigger than 1/2? So is 1 half of 8 or bigger? No, 4 is half of 8. So this is going to be a small one. 3/4. So is 3 half of 4 or more? Yes, half of 4 is 2. So I'm just going to circle this one right now because that's going to be a larger one. What is half of 12? 6 is, and 7 is larger than 6. Okay, and then we have 2/10. Half of 10 is 5, we noticed. So that's going to be a small one. So now we need to figure out which one's bigger. Well, I know 4 times something gives me 12. So I'm going to figure out what that is. 3/4 equals something 12. So what times 4 gave us 12? 3. So times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. So it's the same as 9/12. 3/4 is the same as 9/12. So now we need to figure out on the number line which one would go first. Well, 7/12 would go first. Okay, that one's done. And then 3/4, which is the same as 9/12. So I will just write 3/4 on this line. Okay, we have 2 left now to figure out which is the smallest. So remember we said the more pieces that we break things off into, the smaller the pieces are. But let's see here. What could we do? Let's use 80 as a denominator, okay? Because 8 can go into 10, well, 8 and 10. So 1 times 8 times 10 is 80. 1 times 10 is 10. Okay, this one, 2/10. So 10 times 8 is 80. 2 times 8 is 16. So we've got 16 eightieths and 10 eightieths. Well, 10 eightieths is smaller. So this 1/8, which is 10 eightieths, will be first. So that one's done. And now our 16 eightieths, which is the same as 2/10, goes next. That's probably the most difficult thing on our whole test coming up. But just try to think, what's half? Is it bigger? Is it smaller? And go from there. That's my tip. Number 8, write a fraction and a decimal for this shaded. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So our thing is tenths, and we shaded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6/10. How do we write that as a decimal? 0.6. Number 9, we're moving right along, only a couple left to do. So it wanted us to shade 3/10. So that means we shade 3 of our tens. 1, 2, 3. Write it as a decimal. 0 and 3/10. B, 20/100. So we count 1, 10, 20. Write it as a decimal. 0.2. For both of these, we could do or 0.30 or 0.20. All that means the same thing. Okay, C, 90 hundredths. So everything but 1 we're shading in. Pretend all of that is perfectly shaded in and it looks beautiful. Okay, 90/100ths, 0.9 or 0.90. Both of those work. Okay, 10, what portion of the grid is shaded? This is what it looked like. I pulled up my phone, I take a picture of it. So we've got 10 plus 1, 2, 3. So we're writing it as a decimal and a fraction. So 10 plus 3 is 13. 0.13 or 13 hundredths. Okay, now 11. I do not have that picture. Hang on tight. Okay, so I've got these here. We've got, I know I'm using my cell phone. So 8 full rows plus 4 little pieces. So that gives us 84 hundredths. So 0.84. And then we go 84 over 100. Number 12 looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 minus 10 is 6. So that shows me 60 are filled in. 60 out of 100. Write it as a fraction. 0.6 or 0.6D works as well. 13, 3/10 and 6/10. Think money. less than, 3/10 is less than 6/10, 8/10 is greater than 6/10, and this means the same. So now converting centimeters to millimeters, 1 centimeter is equivalent to 10 millimeters. So that means we're just going to times everything by 10. So 3 times 10, we take our friendly numbers, 3 times 1 is 3. How many zeros? 1, so 30. 23 times 10, 23. How many zeros? 1. 79 times 10, 79. How many zeros? 1. And 3,400 times 10, 34 times 1 is 34. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we put our commas in. 34,000. And that is our review for Unit 3. Hope you're having a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.